Welcome back. The Supreme Court on Monday overturned a decision granting citizenship to the son of a gay couple, the latest step in a legal battle over the children of gay surrogate parents. A full bench of Supreme Court judges agreed that Phillip Luhl and Guillermo Delgado did not satisfy the requirements of the Citizenship Act in their application. The Supreme Court's decision was met with mixed reactions from the general public. One of the reactions, however, that grabbed the attention of many, including the Executive Director of the Ministry of Information, Communication and Technology, Dr. Audrin Mathe, was from British High Commissioner Charles Moore, who in a now-deleted tweet expressed his dissatisfaction with the decision. Joining us to talk to us about this is the Executive Director in the Ministry of ICT, Dr. Audrin Mathe, to weigh in on this latest development. Dr. Mathe, good evening and thank you so much for joining us here on the Daily Roundup.
Good evening, Nina. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Dr. Mathe, to start with, what is the government's attitude towards this ruling?
As a government, we recognize that the Supreme Court, as the apex court, is the last weight on all arbitration matters. We respect the ruling that was issued in a week because, as you know, government has consistently responded to the rulings of all courts on one thing. At the same time, we must also recognize the fact that when the victory that we sought, then we also.
Well, Dr. Mathe, I hope you can still hear me there. The Namibian Sun today quoted you as having said that you have previously affirmed your position that people of all orientations should have equality. Could you please elaborate?
I'm sorry, Nina, there's a lot of interference coming from your end. I can hear you speaking voices. So please, you can just repeat.
No problem. I was saying that the Namibian Sun quoted you today as having said that you have previously affirmed your position that people of all orientations should have equality. Could you please elaborate on that?
Those are personal views that I hold. I'm here in my capacity as a spokesperson of government. Then I'm here to articulate the view of government, which is that the ruling as it is, we accept it because the Minister of Home Affairs has lodged an appeal in the High Court to say that the government did not agree with the ruling then. That's why it ended up in the Supreme Court. What results from the social media is simply to say that the laws of Namibia protect every Namibian citizen, even those that are visiting. Once they are in our country, they are accorded rights in accordance with our constitution. So that goes for this case. No person based on their sexual orientation have been discriminated, victimized in any way. You've seen in other countries where they're exceptionally clear about their position on this. And you find people that are different from them being thrown into jail. That has not happened. We've consistently made sure that there is equality in law for every Namibian.
Very well, Dr. Mathe. What does government make then of the remarks by the UK High Commissioner?
We found his remarks completely out of the norm. It's not in line with the generally accepted protocols that are accorded to foreign officials that are resident in our country or in another country. We don't expect that he will have views that interfere in our domestic affairs. If he really wanted to get into the political space, then he simply say so. Then we know how to treat him if he gets into that arena. He spoke as a representative of His Majesty's government. Those are the views that he expressed. I also express the view of my government. Both of us have views that we represent. The point that we're making is to say that when the courts of final arbitration have spoken, all of us have the obligation to respect those rulings. When we don't, when they go against us, we must as well respect them as much as they go in our favor, because that's the final ruling that is being given on this matter. The point is, the government, Western governments, all other governments have a manner in which they deal with their issues. And maybe a two, maybe we deal with our issues. It can be good for what is good for us. What is them can be bad for us. They reverse it. We know that in the UK, for example, the example that I was giving in the short to say you can't go to the UK and get to the UK in a relationship. This is against their rules. We respect that. That is why we don't make noise about us wanting to do that in the UK. Equally, our expectation is that they will respect the rulings of our courts, the institutions of Namibia, upon which our country is founded. This is an independent country. You know, in the UK, the judges wear those wigs in court. There's a reason why we don't wear those wigs, because we are not a British court, we're an Namibian court. And our courts, they arbitrate on issues that concerns us. So when that happens, then we take an extreme umbrage to those utterances. At the same time, the said diplomat also had, when they were issued about asylum seekers in the UK, he was quoted in the media as having said that the LGBT community in Namibia have nothing to fear because Namibia is democratic and open to people of different sexual orientation. So therefore, it surprises us when the views are expressed differently. If you know, you're following events between yesterday and today, the British government have banned the importation of trophy in their country. And as you know, Africa is blessed with a lot of that kind of natural resources, and it affects us. That's the kind of accommodation that we would like to have with the High Commissioner. You know that I'm happy to read in the media that he has since deleted that tweet. You know, previously he also had opinions about Namibia's support or neutral position with regards to Ukraine and Russia. I'm glad that that tweet too has been deleted, because as a sovereign state, we would like to be given space to make decisions to their own moral standards.
Be that as it may, Dr. Mathe, could it be a view that both you and his take on the issue at hand could coexist within the ambit of the right to freedom of expression as guaranteed by our Constitution?
Absolutely. When you talk about freedom of expression and so forth, I can tell you now that Namibia is ranked higher than the UK, France, and the United States in terms of press freedom. So we are not here to be lectured about that. That is something that we have decided in our own wisdom that is going to be in the Constitution. So when someone expresses an opinion and they come and tell us about it, we're not doing anyone a favor, because that's already guaranteed in the Constitution. All that we are saying is that as a member of the diplomatic community, there are things that we expect that he will not have public views about if he has concerns about anything else. He knows where to go, and that goes for everyone else generally. So when you have concerns also about other governments, there are diplomatic channels through which we raise these issues. It's uncommon for them to attempt to incite people against public institutions that are there to establish law and order. I think that's the line that we draw in the sand.
For the interest of our viewers then, Dr. Mathe, please explain what exactly is expected from foreign heads of mission during their stay in the receiving country.
Well, I'll reverse the question to say, what is the question supposed to do? It involves the affairs of host country, because that creates problems. You know, it's common cause in some countries. You find governments that hide through NGOs in order to destabilize peace in those countries. And I'm not suggesting any way that that's the case here, but that's explicitly the reason why diplomats in another country should attempt not to get involved in internal affairs of the host country.
Dr. Audrin Mathe, that's all the time we have this evening, but thank you so much for joining us here on the Daily Roundup.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
That was the ED from the Ministry of ICT, Dr. Audrin Mathe, speaking to us there. We're going to take a short break. Let's take a look at our local news roundup.